Opposition spokesperson. Spokesperson, you have 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to deliver a principled and constructive response to the mid-year budget statement and review presented by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization. The statement exposes a fiscal path that is troubling, unsustainable, harmful, and detrimental to the welfare of the ordinary Malawians. It reflects policies rooted not in economic recovery, but in desperation, policies that risk further weakening our economy, overburdening and eventually strangling the very citizens we are meant to serve. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to say that this statement is but a list of promises we cannot afford, financed by debt we cannot stain, wrapped in a language that sounds generous today but will cost our children tomorrow. That's the heart of my message. Everything else I say, Mr. Speaker, sir, is but evidence. Revenue strategy, punitive and counterproductive. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honorable Minister reported that the domestic revenue has underperformed by 3.8%, with tax revenue falling short by 4.4%, largely due to weak economic performance. Taxes on goods and services alone underperformed by 74.7 billion and pay as you earn by 39.2 billion. These figures, Mr. Speaker, sir, highlight what this House has long recognized. Our tax system is highly sensitive to economic activity and cost of living trends. If our levels of production are severely strangulated by indigenous and exogenous elements in our economic system, one would not expect higher level of economic productivity. Levels of investments in economic sectors pursues a path of free fall, and sadly, private sector investments suffocate too. What we need is some deliberate inducements to motivate those involved in production to focus more on production and more production investments. Our policies and development strategies that we develop and implement ought to be reflective of such a desire to achieve more economic productivity. While enforcement is necessary, Mr. Speaker, sir, we must avoid excessive pressure on taxpayers, especially when businesses and households are struggling to recover. Revenue measures should prioritize economic expansion, job creation, and confidence building. Introduction of new tax measures, such as the increase in VAT from 16.5% to 17.5%. Mr. Speaker, sir, the decision to raise value-added tax from 16.5% to 17.5% is a direct attack on the cost of living. At a time when inflation is already hovering around 30%, increasing VAT will drive up prices of everything, from salt to bread to soap to transport. The minister claims this is merely reverting to old rates, but the poor do not eat history. They eat food. And that food has just become unaffordable to our grandmothers at Masambanjati, Nkamenya, and other places in so many districts. Mr. Speaker, sir, this decision to raise VAT has got costly and excruciating implications on the ordinary people who are being asked to tighten their belts while we seemingly desire to loosen ours. Increase in VAT will raise the cost of living, making essentials like food, fuel, education, and utilities more expensive. This fiscal decision reduces disposable incomes, limiting households' ability to save, invest in education, or access to health care. Low income and poor families are disproportionately affected, heightening the risk of poverty. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I'm speaking right now, our grandmothers at Sandama, Matapata, Ilomba, and Ntarile are already feeling the pinch characterized by failure to buy salt and other necessary commodities for survival. We cannot mention the failure of access to maize at this time, since this is already a tall order that requires deliberate efforts and political will to reduce food inflation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the double taxation on digital transactions. Mr. Speaker, sir, beyond the increased VAT and the pathetic introduction of a 0.05% levy on bank transfers and mobile money transactions is regressive and backward. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to say, whilst we are attempting to encourage electronic transactions on one hand, on the other, we are discouraging.
Order.
We are discouraging the same by introducing these levies. It is retrogressive and excruciating because of the following reasons. One, you are punishing the villager receiving support from their family in the city. Two, you are punishing the small business trying to go cashless. Three, you are punishing the unbanked for trying to enter the formal economy. This is not a modest levy, as the minister claims. It is a tax on the movement of money itself. It will force our people back to keeping cash under their mattresses and pillows, reversing years of financial inclusiveness. Mr. Speaker, sir, what is more worrisome is the development on suggested expanded pay brackets, taxation of gambling and lottery winnings. Mr. Speaker, sir, removing the tax threshold on betting winnings is petty. Many of our youths, failed by the lack of jobs, have turned to betting as a desperate survival mechanism. While we do not condone gambling as an economic strategy, taxing their small winnings of 2,000 kwacha or 5,000 kwacha or 10,000 kwacha shows a government desperate to scrape pennies from the pockets of the destitute. Mr. Speaker, sir, One other challenge we will face is bordering on the enforcement of withholding tax on rental income. The suggested mechanism will cumulatively increase the financial burden on citizens and businesses. Measures like the cement import surcharge and insurance levies further raise costs of consumers and enterprises. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me say at this point in time that our friends on the other side of the aisle impregnated Malawians with hope, making them believe that they had the magic wand to turn things around instantly, and every promise was with immediacy. These policies are likely to dampen consumer spending, constrain business activity, and slow economic growth. Domestic enterprises, especially those dependent on imports, face higher operating costs amid foreign exchange shortages. The combined effect risks fueling inflation, weakening the kwacha, and reducing access to credit for farmers, small businesses, and households. Individuals in the process will suffer. Households, Mr. Speaker, sir, will choke. Business will not produce. The economy will be brought to its knees. Mr. Speaker, sir, how does the Honorable Minister, who is my fellow ex-banker, think that Malawians will breathe? While the government's objective to increase revenue is understood, the approach adopted sends a concerning message. Instead of promoting fiscal stability and growth, it places additional strain on Malawians, slows private sector development, and risks deepening inequality. Revenue measures must be balanced with the capacity of citizens and businesses to absorb them, and attention must be given to policies that stimulate growth, job creation, and sustainable development. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to say that instead of expanding the tax base, the Honorable Minister is milking the thin cow that is Malawi. Mr. Speaker, sir, Malawi cannot tax its way out of stagnation. We must grow our way out. A more effective alternative is to broaden the tax base by expanding economic activity, complemented by fully digitizing tax administration systems to minimize leakages and improve efficiency. Removing regressive taxes on essential goods would ease the burden on ordinary citizens and promote a more equitable, growth-oriented fiscal environment. Employment freeze and stagnation of promotions. Mr. Speaker, sir, the employment freeze and stagnation of promotions will cripple service delivery. The mid-year budget statement and review show an 18.3% over expenditure on personnel. In response, government has indicated restrictions on new recruitments and promotions. Yet, our schools, hospitals, police service, and extension systems are already understaffed. The consequences of such not well thought through policies and restrictions are grave. 1, teachers are overstretched. 2, hospitals lack critical staff. 3, youth unemployment continues to escalate. 4, civil servants lose morale due to unrecognized career progression. Mr. Speaker, sir, we cannot freeze the future of our young people and expect progress. A more constructive alternative would be targeted, sector-specific hiring that protects critical services, supported by transparent, performance-based promotion systems that reward merit and strengthen morale. A comprehensive skills audit would ensure rational and effective staff deployment across the public service, enhancing efficiency and accountability. Expenditure patterns misaligned with national priorities. Mr. Speaker, sir, The minister has revised expenditure upwards by 512.6 billion from 8.07 trillion to 8.59 trillion, despite declining revenue and collapsing grants. This reveals three critical concerns, Mr. Speaker, sir. First, recurrent expenditure is the consuming expenditure. Recurrent spending has been revised upward by 602 billion, while development spending has been reduced by 89.9 billion. More resources are allocated to consumption and less to development, the opposite of what is needed to stimulate growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is well known in economic circles that if a country is to develop, at least 25% of its budget must be dedicated to development budget. Second, debt interest is spiraling. Interest costs have been adjusted upward by 100 billion to 2.27 trillion, nearly 1/3 of all recurrent spending. No nation can invest in its future when interest payments swallow its fiscal space. Third, domestic borrowing is exploding. Borrowing is expected to rise from 1.46 trillion at mid-year to 2.94 trillion by year-end, crowding out the private sector, pushing interest rates higher, weakening the kwacha, fueling inflation, making credit inaccessible to farmers, SMEs, and households. Where will economic growth come from, Mr. Speaker, sir? A more effective approach, Mr. Speaker, sir, would be to freeze non-essential consumption and consumption spending and redirect the resources toward development projects with measurable impact. This should be accompanied by structured and strategic engagement with creditors to manage debt responsibly, ensuring public finances support growth rather than being drained by unproductive expenditures. Decline in grant disbursement. Mr. Speaker, sir, the budget review reports a 43% underperformance in grants and a projected decline of 159.7 billion by year end. This is not merely a financial gap. It signals the need for stronger project implementation systems, enhanced contract management, improved coordination with development partners, and predictable forex allocation to externally funded projects. The constructive path forward is to strengthen implementation capacity and accountability, re-engage development partners through transparency and policy consistency, and streamline project approval and procurement processes. Mr. Speaker, sir, on fiscal deficit and debt levels, the Honorable Minister of Finance has suggested an increase of debt levels by 3 trillion kwacha, and this is 11% of the GDP from the 9%. This is basically an increase on allocations that would not stimulate growth. Mr. Speaker, sir, this renders the rhetoric of deficit sustainability doubtful. We, therefore, request the Minister to pronounce himself on this contradiction, more especially on issues and mechanisms that he intends to employ to manage the deficit in a sustainable manner. Social sectors under pressure. We acknowledge, Mr. Speaker, sir, the positive intentions behind increased allocations to FISIP, pensions, and free education. However, the minister's statement raises concerns. One, FISIP beneficiaries have surged from 528,020 to 1.1 million, doubling the budget by 129.6 billion without guaranteed financing or structural reforms. Two, budgets for drugs and medical supplies remain inadequate. Three, free primary and secondary education has been announced without clarity on teaching materials, classrooms, or sufficient teachers. Remember, Mr. Speaker, sir, that our friends promised scrapping school fees in secondary schools in September, something that hasn't happened. But that is not to belittle the statement that has been made on the lack of preparedness in terms of the implementation of the said policy. These politically attractive commitments, Mr. Speaker, sir, risk failure if rushed and underfunded. This House has always emphasized that social programs must be protected and properly structured to deliver maximum value. Reforming FISIP through digitization and strict targeting, fully costing and phasing free education policies, and aligning resources with actual commitments are essential. The blame game budget. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have listened to the minister present what can only be described as a punishment budget, and instead of offering hope and a clear path to recovery, the administration has chosen to engage in a tired political blame game, targeting the previous MCP administration, and this, at its minimum, is lazy, Mr. Speaker, sir, and unwitty, and at best, dull and diabolic. Blaming the previous government does not put food on the table, bring forex into our banks, or lower fuel prices. The people of Malawi elected this administration to solve problems, not to complain about the past. This budget solves nothing. It merely shifts the burden of government failure onto the already suffering Malawian citizens. Mr. Speaker, sir, like I said, our friends on the other side made Malawians believe that they had the magic wand which they would wave and get all the economic problems solved immediately. But what is happening and what is transpiring is that there is a blame game, Mr. Speaker, sir. The budget overtaxes Malawians. New economic activities are needed to broaden productivity, not just overburden people. Suspending recruitment does not motivate young people. First, recruitment offers hope. What job creation activities activates is the government putting, let me take that again. What job creation activities is the government putting in place? The VAT and tax increases rob people of buying power, and the automatic fuel price mechanism will fuel inflation. The debt analysis focuses on the kwacha value, not on the dollar value, obscuring the true picture. I invite the Honorable Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization to think and not to hide behind child play games. Think, Mr. Minister, think. The killer tax measures, the poor agenda. The most shocking aspect of this budget is its assault on the disposable income of ordinary Malawians. VAT hike from 16.5% to 17.5%. Raising VAT is a direct attack on the cost of living. With inflation near 30%, this would drive up the prices of everything. The poor, like I said, will not eat history. The real taste, Mr. Speaker, sir, will travel bans apply to the highest office or only to juniors, while seniors continue to fly in luxury jets? We will be watching. Payroll audit. We warn that the announced headcount must not become a political tool of witch hunting to purge civil servants based on party affiliation. Mirage of populist promises. The budget is filled with sweet promises designed to distract Malawians from bitter tax hikes. Let me remind the minister that Malawians see, they guard their money jealously. You will not hoodwink them by giving them carrots, and we will join Malawians in being watchful. 5 billion kwacha CDF The minister promises 5 billion per constituency, but not now. It starts in April 2026. This is a post-dated check, Honorable Minister, on an empty account designed to bribe MPs and voters for the future. If the money is there, release it now. And the minister should be reminded, Malawians are watching you. Free secondary education. We support free education, but where is the funding? The deficit is over 3.1 trillion. Borrowing to pay salaries is unsustainable. Unless funded by sustainable revenue, our schools will collapse under overcrowding and lack of materials. We argued after the SONA, and we reiterate now, free secondary education means no boarding fees and nothing less. And the minister should be reminded, Malawians are watching you. AIP expansion. Increasing beneficiaries to 1.1 million sounds noble, but with what forex will you import the fertilizers, Honorable Minister, with no reserves? This is a recipe for empty depots, frustration, and hunger. As we noted in our response to the SONA, we reiterate now, your manifesto mentioned 4 bags per every household and not 2 bags. And again, this was not to the 1.1 trillion. They said every farming household would get 4 bags of fertilizers. Malawians are waiting. Economic reality, Mr. Speaker, sir. The minister claims the previous government destroyed the economy. Let us correct the record. Global context. The previous administration navigated global wars, pandemics, and cyclones that destroyed infrastructure. We kept Malawi from every corner of this country afloat during the worst global crisis in a generation. We did not choose political affiliation as a certain political path, as a certain political party has dangerously started. Debt was accumulated to keep Malawians alive during this crisis, not on luxury. Deficit. This new budget widens the deficit by over 600 billion, digging the hole deeper whilst criticizing the person who held the shovel before. Conclusion and demands. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me give you 2 clear points which are facts in as far as the current media budget statement is concerned. Firstly, this budget is a betrayal, treacherous, and a clear lack of faithfulness and truthfulness of the minister. It gives with one hand, which is vague promises of free fees, and takes away with 2, VAT, bank levies, and fuel taxes. We are seriously and indifferently overtaxing our taxpayers for no apparent reason at all. Overtaxation, Mr. Speaker, sir, will not reduce fuel pump prices. It will not bring food on the table of the ultra poor. Sadly, it will not in any way bring comfort to the middle income earners. Most of them are currently subjected to hand-to-mouth survival. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me quote one Indian citizen who delivered a very passionate lamentation on poor fiscal management induced by excruciating taxation. I quote, "If you earn money, you pay tax. If you spend money, you pay tax. If you buy something, you pay tax. If you sell something, you pay tax. Worse still, If you are taxed on things that are already taxed, think about it carefully. You earn money, you pay tax. You spend money, you pay tax. You sell, you pay tax. Then you pay taxes again on things you already taxed, using the money that has already been taxed and caught. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is the essence of the budget tax measures that has been presented by the Finance Minister, Honorable Joseph Machora Mwanamveka, and it is a cycle of taxation that punishes private and public enterprises. It punishes and strangulates survival mechanisms. Mr. Speaker, sir, the main and core watchdog of the general public, I must say plainly that the budget does not relieve economic burdens, it marbles them. It does not stimulate economic growth, it strangulates growth with repeated layers of taxes over other layers of taxes. It does not empower citizens, it drains them. This is one sentence. This in one sentence sums up the budget completely. Secondly, let me assure the DPP government that losing election does not mean that the MCP has no supporters and members. No. MCP has got over 10 million Malawian supporters in the country. It is just unfortunate that for one reason or the other, they decided not to come out and vote. The good news is that most of them are already regretting that they did not come out to vote for their beloved MCP. But they do see, Mr. Speaker, sir, they do see 2030 as if it's tomorrow for them to vote back MCP into power. And make no mistake, Mr. Speaker, sir, MCP will rule this country from 2030. Mr. Speaker, sir,
You have a minute to go.
what does the budget statement presented here mean to different categories of Malawians? As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, one,
Order. Honorable spokesperson, consider winding up.
I am winding up, and I beg your protection. Let me be heard in silence.
Honourable members, let's have order. Order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, what does the budget statement presented here mean to different categories of Malawians? One, for the civil servants, it simply means that your take-home pay has been reduced because it will now be heavily taxed. Two, for the general public, it means you have been robbed the buying power for the goods and services since the value of your money has been devalued silently. Three, for the parents who send children to school and colleges, it means your sons and daughters will not be employed despite graduating from universities and various colleges.
Order.
Servants, it means you will not get promoted despite working hard to improve service delivery. Four,
Order. Can I have order?
for motorists and the road users,
Honorable spokesperson, I have already given you
Mr.
4
Speaker. I am
minutes.
being disturbed.
Please consider winding up.
I'm winding up. For motorists and other road users, it simply means that fuel prices will be increased at the pump station because no one will be controlling it. since this government has openly told Malawians that it is powerless at the hands of market forces and financial institutions that have dictated fiscal management measures. Mr. Speaker, sir, do we have any hope for the future? Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. We have got 1,750 days for Malawians to go to the polls, and that time is September 2030. Malawians will speak with one voice to send the DPP government on this side of the aisle.
Thank you.
The opposition.
Thank you.
Will be.
Spokesperson, I have actually given you extra 6 minutes. And
I appreciate, Mr. Speaker,
now,
sir.
Please.
I appreciate, Mr. Speaker, sir. As the opposition, we would be happy to have a budget that focuses on production rather than consumption. We are therefore calling for the restraint and the responsibility. Together, we must
please, I did give you 30 minutes, and if you check your time, I actually added for you 7 minutes. But I'm sure your response will be circulated, and they'll take note of it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving this opportunity to the people of Luchenza municipality to stand on a point of order. Mr. Speaker, sir, is it in order for the member who has just presented the statement here to display act of mental health problems? The member who actually presented the statement here is actually deluded. He believes the Malawi Congress Party will be back in government in 2030. That will never happen. That's a clinical sign of behavior disorder. Is it in order to display such behaviors in Parliament? Mr. Speaker, sir, is it in order as well for the member of Lilongwe Northeast to wear that Chinese suit here without a tie? Is it in order? Thank you.
Point of order. Zomba Malosa.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving people of Zomba Malosa for this point of order. Mr. Speaker, sir, is it in order that the person just resumed his seat now could be speaking something, forgetting that he has got something to tell Malawians about the bans from SATA? Is it really in order? He knows very well that he benefited a Benz. Till today, he hasn't told us how he got that Benz. Malawians are suffering, and yet he was there explaining things that are not real. Is it in order, Mr. Speaker?
Thank you so much, Your Honor, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm at pains to ask you, Mr. Speaker, sir, because the honorable member who is the Minister of Defense is my good brother, and being a seasoned member, he must know that personal reflection is against our standing order. So I wanted to ask you, Mr. Speaker, sir, is it in order that the Minister of Defense, who I know is a clinician, but he last practiced his clinical certificate 15 years ago, he can stand here and certify Lilongwe Goma as to be a mental
case. Mr. Speaker, is it in order to be calling someone that has a mental issues here when we know he's only a Minister of Defense? He's not even a Minister of Health. His certificate of clinician expired 15 years ago.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Honourable members, that was the last point of order that I'm taking. Let me make my rulings. Honourable Dezakasina, you were responding to things that I am supposed to respond to, and I am coming to that. The point of order from Minister of Defense, indeed there was some unparliamentary words used, and I rule that point of order out of order. Zomba Malosa, you're asking about a Benz. I think those issues are in court. We can't be talking about the SATA issues here. So I also rule you out of order. Honourable members, let's proceed.
The issue of dressing, it's a lounge suit.
Honourable members. Honourable members, I would like to bring to your attention Standing Order 204 that talks about our dress code. 2041, the official dress code for male members of National Assembly shall be a lounge suit, a pair of long trousers, a tie, and a jacket. I would like to ask Honourable Member if he's not putting on the tie, please go and change your dressing.
Point of order. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for allowing Lilongwe Chiwamba. Let me just remind you, Mr. Speaker, that Honourable Minister of Defense, he mentioned about Lilongwe Northeast. My constituency is not Lilongwe Northeast, it's Lilongwe Chiwamba, one. Secondly, let me inform the whole House. I don't put on local suits like what
Honourable Member.
Other ministers.
Honourable Member. Honourable Member. Honourable Member, I see you are not wearing a tie. Please, you can't debate on my ruling. Please leave the House, go and dress officially, and come back. Thank you. Honourable members, this is a lesson for all of us. We have to be very mindful of our dress code. It clearly states in our standing orders 204 and 205, 2041 for male honourable members and 2042 for female honourable members. Please take note of that. Let us proceed. Honourable members, can I have the chairperson of the Budget Committee? Is that a point of order? What has gone out of order, Honourable?
Mr. Speaker, sir, in your ruling on what Zomba Malosa said, you indicated that we cannot comment on matters that are in court. My matter is not in court, and I would like to request her to give evidence to ACB to help in this investigation. I want to put it on the record, because my matter is not in court, my matter is not anywhere, and if she has evidence, let her help with the investigation.
Honourable Member, I made a ruling on that. If you are not satisfied, you can write to my office, but I did make a ruling. It's a petty issue. Let's forgo that one. Honourable Members, I see the Leader of the House standing.
Right Honourable Speaker,
Let's have order.
I listened very, very attentively to the response by the MCP spokesperson on finance. And unfortunately, he went all the way to attack a 2-month-old government. That's number one. Number two, the rot that has happened in this country is and will always be attributed to that side. Mr. Speaker, sir, just to remind them that in 2020, the debt stock stood at 4.1 trillion. As at today, actually, the Minister of Finance was only being very gentle and diplomatic. The debt stock as at today stands at 28 trillion. Now, the questions that we'll be asking, not today, in few days to come, are, one, where has the 24 trillion that this government, the MCP government, borrowed gone to? They will have to answer that question. Actually, I said the minister here was being very gentle and diplomatic. If they want us to take the route that they want, we are ready. I will now, at the end of the House, ask the Minister of Finance to bring in this House a detailed expenditure of the resources that these guys have planted in this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, this will be penny by penny, tambara by tambara, that this government, the just, government that left just 2 months ago, has done into this country. We wanted to run this House in a very dignified manner, but they are taking a different path altogether, and we are ready. So I wanted to put this on record. The Minister of Finance will now bring in this House, in the next few days, a detailed, from state residents up to the last MDA, how these guys have used government money, Malawians' money. As I've been Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Leader of the House.
Point of order.
I see Minister of...
Point of order.
Minister of...
Point of order.
Local Government.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I think this, Right Honourable Speaker, this is a House of Records, and the reason why we've got committees in the House is to help the government in times like these ones. Once the minister presents them here, the responsible committee has got to look at those 1 billion kwacha sheets in details, and then present naming and shaming on who bought what and where, including Maheu that are there, including shirts that are there, including 50,000 kwachas that were being paid at the State House, whether that was within the budget line or not. A committee responsible, I believe it may be Public Accounts Committee or whatever committee, really for purposes of tomorrow, that even this government should not go and root the way they have rooted. From 4.5 trillion, we can't go to 28 trillion. That is criminal. And those perpetrators must be arrested forthwith, because that is very dangerous for this country. I submit.
Honorable members, can we proceed? I see Leader of Opposition.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, Standing Order 148 of our standing orders is the statutes that help us run the businesses in the House. We have several committees. I would like to agree with the Minister of Local Government when he talks about the functionality of the committees. When we happen to assume the powers of the committee and bring the issues before the House will definitely become disorderly, and then it becomes difficult, Right Honorable Speaker, to transact here. I understand the reasons why we are here is because people out there are expecting that we're gonna discuss issues or matters of national importance. So for instance, yes, Right Honorable Speaker, I was not in a way trying to respond, Mr. Speaker, sir, directed to the Leader of the House, because he's my esteemed dear brother. But there is always this issue that goes around when we are talking about Malawi's debt management, Malawi's debt sustainability, which I understand my dear brother understands it much, much better. When we are looking at the Kwacha side, the Kwacha Valley, you will see that there is a sharp rise in Malawi's debt. But comparing the Malawi's debt of 4 trillion